Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have a Spark-O-Matic Fender on the bench today. I got a couple of customer concerns we're going to deal with. Let's get to work. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe. So, pretty interesting guitar. Spark-O-Matic Fender. It kind of looks like a Stratocaster from there up. Alternate universe or parallel universe. Pretty neat guitar. He does not use this. We keep it locked. Main complaint is he's changing strings. He's going from 10s to 9s. String of choice. Main concern is we had this guitar, I don't know, 5 months ago, 4 months ago. Cleaned it up, did a setup on it, but he's got a lot of tarnish on his pickup covers, and we're going to get after that. And while I'm at it, I'm going to do the frets as well. We're going to clean them up. Must not wipe it down or clean it. Not sure. Your sweat is acidic, and when it gets on, chrome plated or brass metal, it will do that if you don't clean it off. And I know you can't get at that anyway, and that's just the way it is. These things will change and tarnish like that, but I know how to clean it, and we know how to clean that. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do a setup. So we're going to do our usual thing on it. Now I'm going to check my measurements from the last time I had this guitar, just to see where it's at, just to make sure. Always start with you know what. Yeah, it's pretty much right where I would have left it. It's a little looser, but I had it. It looks as though probably we could tighten it up slightly. And I'm going to do that. No, because we're going from 10s to 9s. So we're going to have a lot less tension with those strings. I'm going to wait and do that later. Let's destring it and get after the main customer complaint, which is all this tarnishing. Yeah, like the pickup rings are nice and shiny, chromy, but there's got to be some brass in the alloy used for these pickup covers. That's why they turn green. I wonder. Yeah, that's about where I would have left it. Right at 564, so all the way across. So I'm going to say the neck relief needs to be a little bit tighter, but we'll get to that. We will get to that. Right now, I think we're going to destring it and work on cleanup first. The setup will come later. I want to get the entire guitar cleaned up and pay especially close attention to these. Now, I really want the camera to be able to pick up on just how shiny the pickup rings are compared to the tarnish. There's a really good shot of it. The tarnish that is built up not only on the pickup covers, but on the frets as well. Now, I took and did a little bit of something right there on the edge of that one, where my thumb is. And you can see I cleaned it up. Now, off camera, I tried a few things that I do on this kind of a problem. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but believe it or not, wet, dry sandpaper. Nothing else worked to get that shit off of there. That is sweat, and when the sweat hits it, it reacts with the metal, and it creates a kind of a film on there, and that's the tarnish. And you just kind of very lightly clean it up, and we're going to get these back standing tall. And we're going to do the same process on the frets. Yeah. So let's take it down. I like these kind of tuners because they're the kind that go down in and then wrap around. My favorites. Let's get out of here. Cut them. They wore out a set of strings in I don't know, 4 months. I don't know if it's been 4 months, maybe 5 months. Once these strings are out of the way, you're going to really see the nastiness that's built up on these pickup covers. And this is chrome plated. That's not tarnished, but this is really badly tarnished. And it appears as though the saddles are of the same ilk. Yeah. Well, we can only do what we can do. We're not going to do a restoration, but we're definitely going to clean it up and fix it. And then, of course, we're going to restring it and set it up. Wow. Not a fan of this bridge type monkey business that goes on here. I never liked this style of trim system. Just not my favorite. Leo Fender had it right to begin with. I don't think this was a Leo Fender invention. It could be. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. You guys will let me know about that. God, there's boogers and all kinds of stuff on there. That's the locket, I think. Can't remember if that's locked or if that's locked. Yeah, I think that's locked. Yeah. We'll find out. We will find out. We may have to take that out of there and investigate a little bit. Probably needs string tension on it to make it really work good. Yeah, if I remember correctly. Anyway, I know he doesn't use it, and we're going to try to keep it in that back position. I think that's where it locks it. One way or another, we'll figure it out. Okay, so you can get a better look at that tarnish. We're going to do what we can, and I'm hoping I can do it without pulling. I really don't want to have to pull each pickup out. What do we got? Well, to clean it right, because there's all kinds of shit down in there, we're going to have to pull these. Yeah, we're going to have to open it up. And then once we do that, who knows how long it'll last. Let's take the first one off and see what happens. I'd like to see these pickup covers just pop off, but I know that's not going to be the case. You don't want to just clean the top and leave the sides all gooped up. Yeah, we got to pull the pickups out. They are Gibson style with the spring, and the screw goes through to do your pickup height. And to really get them cleaned properly, yeah, I'm going to have to open it all the way up. Stand by. I'm going to undo these, get one out, and show you how I'm going to do that. Be right back. So it's pretty simple. This is your pickup ring, the chrome piece that goes around. And you take these two screws out. There's a spring under there. And be ever so careful. And the reason I'm taking it off, I want to get the pickup ring off and expose the actual pickup, is because, yeah, wow, get that green goop down on there. Right there. So we're going to clean all of this up, as well as the top, the sides, and we're going to do each one of them just like that. And so there's a lot of different products out there. You can try whatever you want. This stuff is really not cooperative. It's tarnish. And when you see that green, it's indicative of brass being in the alloy. And that's gets on there. And the only way to get it off, this is 1800, I think. Wet, dry sandpaper. And you got to get to work on it. And that one right there doesn't look like it's going to come out, but it will if you keep working it. That was the worst part. It's already started to pit. Yeah, it's already started to pit it. Yeah. I don't think this guitar is too old, but you see how quickly it will come back up to a shine. But the pitting, you can't do much with that. But it does bring it back to about, I would say, 90%. Nice and smooth, nice and clean. And I'm doing it dry. I'm not going to put water on that. Yeah, the pitting is going to stay like that. You can't get some of it out. And that's the insidious nature of tarnish. Does it on jewelry, anything with where you got metal alloy in there. And then the next step is, once you get it down to where you think, okay, I've gone as far as I can go. Sorry if my head is in the way. Seymour Duncan. I don't know if this guitar was made with that, but you guys will let me know. Get it down to where it shined like that. I will go after it with a little bit of polish. And when I say a little bit, use a little bit at a time, because this stuff gets everywhere and you don't want to have to clean all that up. And by the way, every step of this is going to be here and here and here. and all the frets. So a little bit of fret polish, because judging by the greenness of it, same kind of thing. They're already pitted. I'd be curious to wonder if this is original pickups in this. I don't know. Don't know. Guess I should do some investigation, some forensic investigation. Yeah, I learn something new every day. It wouldn't surprise me if Seymour Duncan got in bed with Fender. Yeah, these sides are really pitted bad. I hope this side, the front side, the business end, isn't that bad. Yep, that one came out pretty good. A little bit of polish goes a long way. Be careful you're not stretching wires or pulling wires. Yeah, see, that's tarnish. So we got the back side and that side done. I'll be right back. I'm going to do the front side. I'm going to do the front side here, this side, and then the top, and I'll be right back. Stand by. So, yeah, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 folds, and actual time. You can see what the difference is. Okay, so that's just good old-fashioned elbow grease and polish to get it back to shiny. There's a lot of marring on the pickups, like somebody, I don't know, it had been scraped before, at least on that one. I don't know what we'll uncover here. I can actually see some scratches on this one already, poking through. But that's what it is. Actual elapsed time was about 30 minutes just to clean up that pickup cover. But it looks as close to new as it could possibly look. And guess what? I'm going to have to do the same process on all of these frets. So I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of little pieces of sandpaper, and that's ultra fine wet dry sandpaper. I think it's 1800 or 1500. I'm using it dry. It takes the tarnish off but won't damage the surface. Yeah, and then I go after it with polish, and the polish is what's actually, once you sand it, the tarnish is still on there. It just doesn't look like that anymore. Starts to look like that, but guess what? The tarnish is still left on there. So that's when you get after it with the fret polish. That's what I'm using for, because that's what I have right now handy, and it works because that's tarnish coming off of there. It looks black when it gets on a white cloth. A lot of elbow grease. Am I going to do these? Absolutely not. That is not in the cards, but I'm going to do all 3 of these for him. I'm going to polish up his pickup rings so that they look nice and new again when they go in. And then we're going to get after, I guess you could call it a fret dressing, but I'm going to take it a step further. Instead of just doing, you know, the fret erasers and cleaning them up, I'm going to get right after them and really polish them the same way that I'm doing with this. And that gets messy and it gets tricky because you got to use, you know, the little tool, and you got to use the one that's exactly right for, these are jumbo frets, so that one probably will work really nicely. Then we got to get all the goop, all the fret polish off of the board, clean that, and re-oil it. So the board is nice and oiled from the last time I did it. It looks beautiful and it's breathing. Wow, got a lot of work to do on this. We're going to call that good. The next time we come back, I'll have all of this done and the frets done. So you've seen the process. You kind of sand it a little bit, get it clean, and then you get after it with the polish. And there's only one way to do that, unless you want to remove them from the guitar. And you got, by the way, you got to be ultra careful that you're not, this is a used guitar. It's got some scrapes on it, but I don't want to add any scrapes to it. So then you get after it, you polish it, and you get as much of that tarnish off as possible. And then when I was done, I actually put a little bit of guitar polish on it, and that will put a coat on the metal. Is that going to be permanent? No, it's not like when you put it on. Clear coat is hard, and you know we can clean that stuff off. But once it starts to tarnish, that's a chemical reaction with the metal. Who knows how long this will last? But at least it'll look a lot better. And that was today's object lesson. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks so much for all your support and watching the videos and judging by the numbers you've been watching. So it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We'll talk soon. We'll be back with part 2 on this guitar very shortly.